So Southampton won, Arsenal won, first draw of the season, and it ended our winning streak in the Premier League, which is what it is. Sometimes you have off days. We had some good performances today. We had some shockers as well. Team selection, Tomiyasu at left back instead of Tierney. We can talk about that. But we've just witnessed Tottenham drop points at home. They lost to Newcastle, who are flying high. We're still top of the table, and this is gonna be very interesting in the next couple of games. We've got Nottingham Forest next, then we've got Chelsea and Wolves before the World Cup. Anyone who hasn't checked out the fan cams, do go and check them out. Follow JEZ'S channel, Arsenal History and More. The link's in the description. Penny Ken 1972 on Instagram. Check that out as well. Follow my TikTok. I have joined TikTok. I'm not dancing. I've got no rhythm. I need some WD-40. But Jez, for anybody who hasn't seen your fan cam, what was your little breakdown of the game, mate?
Disappointing. Started off great intensity and great goal from my favourite player, Granit Xhaka. Who knew? And then we backed off. We let Southampton come on us. Great shame. Disappointing. And yeah, okay, we've come away with the point. It's positive, but I think we should have killed that game, Lee. I think we should have killed it. And we didn't. And we'll get into that in the ratings, I do believe.
100%. Kenny, what were your thoughts on the game, mate?
Well, our thoughts on the game replicates what Jez has just said. The only thing I would like to add is that, the shook Southampton roost in terms of like team selections on Thursdays. I've been a massive advocate. I haven't, changed my mind. I've always been consistent in thinking that the level of football we play in the Europa League isn't credible enough to waste, the energy of our big names. We're going to qualify for that tournament, finish top because we're the best team in it, even with our reserve teams. So that was something I've always advocated in terms of like the performance itself. No way Arsenal deserved to win. No way was the referee responsible for the performance. Say he wasn't responsible for the way it ended. Southampton came back in the game, just like Leeds did last week. Leeds didn't have the luck. Southampton scored an excellent goal. That Ken Senna for goal of the month. We just have to accept it. Stop hiding behind refs so you can get likes and follows and and some sort of popularity that you don't deserve. Just say as it is. We didn't play well. Players were before, didn't have their A game. The three players that I'm sure that's going to stand out that we're going to be pleased with is White, Martinelli, and obviously and Granit Xhaka. Apart from that, you won't struggle, but it's contestable if anyone else gets in that game, because if you've got to judge it from the whole 90 minutes, not the first 45 minutes. First 40 minutes, we'll have loads of contenders for man of match, but football's a 90-minute game, not a 45-minute one.
Yeah, absolute facts. Listen, anyone who watches this on a regular, whether you like us or not, big up to you. Make sure you smash the like up on the video. Subscribe if you're new. If you don't like our player ratings, cry. We don't care. Yeah, we're back again on Thursday, then Sunday. If you don't like our player ratings and don't agree with the player ratings, then leave yours in the comments. Let's start with the goalkeeper, Jez. Didn't have a great deal to do. I've seen some people blaming him for the goal. I'm not too sure. Maybe he could have spread himself a bit more, but it was a fantastic team goal. Didn't really see Ramsdale at all in the game, did we? Like, he was literally a bystander for most of it. But what did you make him overall, mate? What did you make of his performance?
Yeah, I thought he had a strange performance today. For me, he went long on a lot of his passes under pressure, which he hasn't always done that. And it seemed to me today he had a sense of panic. I don't think he commanded the defence as well as he normally does. And as the game went on, he made some great saves today. Let's get it right. He did. But I didn't think he had a great performance, so I'll give him a 6.
Let's go to Benjamin White, playing at right back, hooked in the second half. Set up the goal for Granit Xhaka. Fantastic bit of play between Saka, Ben White, Xhaka. What did you make of him, Kenny?
Look, Ben White, has basically been hasn't been kind of a revelation, but he's proved me wrong. I never didn't want him at right back. I wanted Tommy Asu or us to buy a new right back, but his performances include me. And today I was very, very pleased with him, especially in the first half. Second half, I think he probably, looked a bit fatigued. But if I was to mark him, I'll give him a 7 because I was very pleased with his performance.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty decent today as well. Yeah, I was shocked he subbed him, but is what it is. Let's move to the opposite side, Jez. Tommy Asu starting over our actual left back. I think that experiment's failed now, isn't it? It worked against Salah, but it isn't quite working since. He was then moved to right back, which coincided with them substitutes, which we'll come to, with Southampton kind of getting a bit of a stranglehold in the game at the time. It kind of went a bit flat for us, a bit disjointed, but the goal was on his side, him and Gabriel Magalhaes. What did you make of him overall?
Yeah, I'm not liking this anymore. As you quite rightly said, it worked once. I don't like seeing this again. We have a top class player that can play that position, play him. Yeah, his frailties at playing at that position are starting to show. I partially blame him for the equaliser. He got turned inside out. So, yeah, not liking it. Don't like it. And he gets a 6.
Let's go to the centre-backs. Gabriel Magalhaes signed a new deal the other day. Was, again, ball watching ball watching. Do you think he could have done better with the goal? And what did you make of him today?
You know what? I took stock today, had a good look at him, and I was very pleased with him because, he does things I like. He loves edging the ball. Goes on like a bit of a ninny at times when he's when he pretends to be injured. It really annoys me. You're a big lad. Come on, man. Referees see you coming a mile away, mate. They've read the script. They don't like the script that you're trying to show us. And let's face it, you need to sort of, in my opinion, like fix up. But today, very pleased with him. Very, very pleased with him. The reason why I give him a buy for the goal because I think, there's 3 phases of play. The first phase of play was the left back was Southampton. We were able to play out the back from their left hand side, and then after that, it's all about movement. Players not being sucked in, having to mark other people's spaces, and by the time they make those decisions, the ball's in the back of the net. So I think collectively, as a team, it was a bad goal to give away. But if you look at his last phase of the play, I think the whole back 4 was probably blameless for that. But I'm going to give him a 6 today because I don't want to give him an 8 as such because he wasn't where he was spectacular, but he was very good. He was good today, so 6.
Let's move to his partner in crime, William Saliba, Jez.
Yeah, I thought Saliba, he didn't seem to me today to be quite there. He's not so confident as I've seen him in previous games. I don't know if he's. I hate to say this. I hope he's not lacking in where he's going to push forward, but he dealt very well, I think, with the threat of the 2 attackers. But for the most part, I thought, yeah, I'll give him a 6 because he did perform, he did cover, and yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Let's move into midfield. Thomas Partey, a player that we always hope and pray is fit to play games. And when he does play, normally, Kenny, we're pretty damn decent. And that showed in the first half. I don't know what happened to him at half time, but he came out like Bambi on ice in the second half.
Yeah.
And it was chalk and cheese from first to second half. What did you make of him overall?
Excellent in the first half. Rather, you know, one of the sort of how I say catalysts for all the good things we've done this season. A must in the team, but in the second half we got overrun, and it's a situation where he was guilty of getting robbed in midfield and guilty of making the wrong pass. So, as I said, football's a 90-minute game, not a 45-minute game. So I'm going to have to mark Thomas down and give him a 5 today.
Yeah, I agree. I thought he was bang average, mate. Bang average. Let's move to your favourite player, Jez. Scored an absolute rocket. I love a half volley. I can't lie. Yeah, and the fact he did it on his weak foot makes it even better. But I didn't realise at the time until I see about third replay from behind the goal how hard he had actually hit that ball. He slapped that so good. Yeah, that stayed hit. Yeah, and if there was no net there, that's probably still travelling now. Yeah, what a goal. What a bit of play from Xhaka, Ben White. Great cross. But for Xhaka to be there, and he's arrived in the box a lot this season. That's the first time I think he scored in back-to-back games. I think he scored more goals this season already than he scored in the last 3 or 4 combined. And he looks like a decent player all of a sudden, doesn't he, this season?
Oh, mate. What's this guy on? He's doing something. Honestly.
Drug test him.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'll give him absolutely the credit. I think Arteta and maybe the coaching staff have said to him, "You need to do this, whatever." I'm not that technically gifted in football to say what it is. Yeah, awesome. My man of the match. I can't fault the fella. This guy is delivering the goods, slapped that ball, and he had a chance before that where all right, fair play, the keeper made a great save, and that was a bullet shot. The one where the keeper saved it, that was a rocket bullet, and then he did it again.
Yeah, he had one where he scuffed it wide a little bit, didn't he, before the goal?
I'll tell you who that remained. You won't remember this, Lee, but there was a Leeds player back in the 70s who used to actually try and break the net. And
Lorimer.
Yes, that's the man. And his attitude was...
Kenny, you're a joke. How do you even know that before you said?
I was brought up and everyone used to talk about hot shot with Lorimer, isn't it? Like he said, the hardest shot in football, Peter Lorimer.
Yeah, he was. Goalkeepers used to scared to actually parry his shots because it hurt their hands. And that guy today, I can't fault him. I'm sorry, 8 for me. My man of the match, great.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with Xhaka being man of the match, man. He was absolutely. I don't know who got man of the match. I'd imagine it was their number 4, their centre back.
Yeah, it was. It's Southampton, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate, we'll come to him in a bit. Yeah, he tried headbutting, strangling, everything. Sign him up. That's a throwback to Keown. But let's go to the opposite side of the pitch, Kenny. A player that flatters to deceive most times we see him play, that has all the hype around him like Mesut Ozil used to. Martin Odegaard subbed again, missed a lovely chance, and is what it is, isn't it?
Disappointed. You know what? I think he's probably kicking himself that Kieran Tierney couldn't keep the ball in when he made that assist for him, which the goal got distracted. The whole ball went over the line. But apart from that, first half again, he's involved in the play, good movement on the press, setting our fades. How many times have we said that this season? And it's become a bit annoying. I mean, can you really imagine if Fabio Vieira actually had a bit of beef on him and was playing out of his skin when he did get the chances? He'll be a threat to our captain's place, because at the moment he's had a drop in form, and I think people need to acknowledge that and be able to say that, not say, "Oh, you lot are fickle." Doesn't matter if he's got an injury or not. If he's, some players who don't have injuries still get marked down. You can't say, "Oh yeah, the reason why he's playing poorly and he isn't playing to the best of his ability is because he's injured." Well, that's fine, but the fact is, he's played in the team
So that's then, sorry to cut you off. That's then on the manager then. So that's negligence from the manager to play a player.
Well, it's not necessarily negligence. It's that, you know.
No, but you're putting this into a game, not at optimum form with 11 men. You're putting this in with 10 and a half.
Maybe so. But even so,
but that then shows that you don't trust the players.
There's no if whether you're 100% fit or 80% fit, when you cross the white line, you're fit enough to play mentally and physically. But so you should be able to produce performances. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you know, it's become habitual now. And let's face it, I can't give him anything more. The highest I can give him is a 5, and that's generous, really generous, because I don't want to mark him down as a 4 because it wasn't a 4 performance as such because of the first half, but the second half, you know, he warranted being substituted, so I can only give him a 5. You know,
let's give him anything more. No, mate, listen, I think Thomas Partey and Odegaard's scores are generous, but it's your ratings, not mine. Yeah, the chat will probably have a different opinion. If you do, stop crying. Just put your scores in. Let's go to Bukayo Saka, Jez. He got booked for diving. I don't believe it was a dive. I think it was he got caught on the left toe and made a meal of it and dangled his leg. Second time he's been booked for diving. We don't want him to get a reputation for it because then when we do have a genuine free kick opportunity, he's going to get booked for diving. We've been there, done that, worn the T-shirt. Again, similar to Odegaard, started very lively, involved in the goal. And second half, the guy fades, and he does do this quite a lot. But he's always a threat. Yeah, he had the chance where he was clean through on goal. I don't think anyone was confident he was going to score. I don't think anyone was. He ain't got that electric pace. But I thought he played pretty well overall. What did you make of him?
Yeah, it was very harsh booking. If we all have, and we all have watched the replay of what happened, he was going forward. He gets pushed, and then he clearly gets clipped and goes down. And for the referee to book him the yellow for diving is no, sorry, that is so wrong. And this is where I think, I know VAR don't look at yellow cards. Maybe they should sometimes, because that was clearly, you could see his leg was taken away. I don't believe he was diving. But anyway, get to the point. This guy frustrates me so much sometimes. I think he's selfish at times when he can release the ball into that. There was a case in point today where Jesus was in the middle of the box screaming for the ball, and he tried to take a shot and it hit the back post, the back netting.
The stanchion, yeah.
Stanchion, that's the correct term. And I thought, why didn't you just slot it through? You're there.
Yeah. Final third decision making with this guy is not great, but I think
he needs to move on that.
Yeah, I totally agree, but I think the fact that, like, we're not playing the game. Yeah, we've not been that good that we can get to an elite level like him, right? And we all like Saka, and we can see there's a proper player there.
Oh yeah,
it's now polishing that player. Yeah, because his decision making in the final third is shocking at times. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, like the one where he nearly hit the guy eating a kebab the other night behind the goal in Norway. Yeah, like, why are you shooting from there? Square it back to the penalty spot. Runners are running in, tapping. Yeah, there's times where it doesn't help that he doesn't necessarily have an overlapping fullback, and then Odegaard gets in his way at times, and it's all congested and blah, blah. But this guy's got some star quality about him, which is why he's called Star Boy, right? But I agree. I think that his decision-making needs to be polished. If he can polish that up, he then becomes an elite level player. Absolutely. I think he's a very, very good player. But if he polishes up that decision-making in the box and around the box, all of a sudden he's elevated to elite status, because now he's affecting the game every game. Yeah, which is like the likes of De Bruyne does. Mahrez, when he plays, like most of the time, you see these guys, yeah, they affect games 9 out of 10 games. Yeah. If Saka does that and polishes up on that, which is, listen, he's only 21, 22. Yeah. But it seems like been around forever, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're maybe putting a bit too much pressure on him, but that's because of the levels he's set and the standards he's put in. Yeah. So now we judge him on the standards that we've seen. And we know that when it clicks, the guy's quality. When it don't click, it's very frustrating.
My rating, as you asked me, for him today is a 6.
Let's go to the opposite side, Kenny. Gabriel Martinelli. I love this guy, man. Everything about this guy just oozes class. Yeah. And he is a typical South American footballer. Yeah. Every time he gets the ball, it's like a street baller. Every time he gets the ball, he just turns and runs. I didn't realize until today, and I don't think I've ever seen him live. I'm pretty sure I've not seen him live. No, I haven't. I've never seen him live. You get to witness him live pretty much every week, right? I didn't realize until today how fucking quick this guy is. Yeah, he dropped his shoulder and boom. Yeah, and he's got the explosiveness over 10 yards, but then he's got the pace and carrying the football, left foot, right foot. Yeah, under control at all times. And there was a moment in that second half where the ball dropped down in our box, nobody near him, and he run 50 yards up to halfway, but he run right to the byline. And I was like, I fucking love that, because now you're stretching the pitch. You could have just run in a straight line down the middle. You run to the byline, you're stretching it, opening spaces. So intelligent, man. I'm shocked he got hooked, especially when Tierney come on. But what did you make of him today, mate?
I was very pleased with him today. You know, he was causing all sorts of havoc in the Southampton defence. He was, and that's what he's been doing all season. You know, and there's definitely an end product there, and he is trying to create openings for Gabriel Jesus. Surprised he was taken off. You know, I hope that he's not going to be used in Eindhoven, but it wouldn't surprise me if he is used in Eindhoven. But he's one of the guys now that we are seeing end product with him. You know, I was disappointed he went off, but who knows? He probably was one of those players who looked heavy-legged afterwards, and if you're heavy-legged like I think he was, then he would have been ineffective. But I'm going to give him a 7 today because I was very pleased with him.
Let's go to Gabriel Jesus. Bit of a drought for him after the levels he's set, Jez, since he come to the club. He's been the Alexis Sanchez type leadership guy on the pitch without the armband. He's been trying to drag us through games. His performances have been elite. Last 4, 5, 6 games, he's not hit them levels. So we're kind of left with a little bit wanting more. Today, he had a couple of good opportunities and wasted them. But what did you make overall?
Yeah, I said to you in my fan cam, Lee, my concern is here. Are we seeing Jesus' level? He came in like a whirlwind, scored goals pre-season and in the league, and we're all hyping it. And I admit. As I'm sitting here, is this guy going to be a 15, 20 goal a season player? I'm not convinced. I thought today, very poor. Very poor. And I'll give him a 5.
Yeah. Listen, it's your ratings. People are going to cry about that because they're going to go off a previous. They're not going to go off of the game today. The game today, the levels he set, the expectations.
I've been told, newest in the last 3 days, I'm a fake fan. And
how many games you been to, Jez?
2000.
Do you know what always makes me laugh? Listen, it doesn't matter if you go to games or don't go to games, but I always laugh when somebody who's never been to a game says to somebody who's been to hundreds or thousands of games that they're a fake fan. Well, what makes you not a fake fan then when this guy goes to games? Yeah. What makes you different? Oh, you suck off the manager and every player every week. That's the only difference. So it's blind loyalty without any constructive criticism. Yeah, that makes you a real and a true gooner. Half of these people that have true gooner in their bio don't even know what the word gooner fucking means, mate.
They don't.
Yeah, exactly. Real talk. They don't.
Yeah,
That's the thing. They don't.
They don't. The thing is, I don't want to interrupt this show at all. Absolutely not. But it makes me laugh when people say that, because I think, okay, fair enough. I don't go now. I don't, because I live a long, long, long way away, and it's a very expensive day out for me, you know, and that's fair play. But I had a conversation with this gentleman. I'll put it that way, and it turns out he's 16. I'm like, you've never, ever, ever seen Arsenal win anything apart from an FA Cup or a couple of FA Cups. So how do you dare challenge me about...
But that's the audacity, Jez. That's the entitled state there, the clap society that we live in. It's like entitlement. These teenagers, these kids have grown up with everyone saying yes to them. Nobody can tell them no because there's too many lovies on the planet. Yeah. So now they think that they're like right on everything. And if you challenge them, I mean, imagine being a school teacher now, and telling a kid that he's got a detention. They'll probably come back the next day and beat the shit out of you with their mates. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, this is unfortunately the fucking lost society that we live in. Everyone has to be positive. Oh, it's positive. Oh, if it's not positive, then you're a problem. You're toxic and negative. Because on social media, especially, if you're not sucking off everything that everyone does, you're now a problem. So they want you cancelled so they can live in their bubble of delusion and fantasy, Disney-esque world with rainbows and unicorns and stars. Yeah. Because nobody's ever told them no. Yeah. So when they see somebody coming with an opposite opinion, yeah, all of a sudden, oh my God, they're scared. They're like, what the fuck? I've never seen this before. No, cancel him. Yeah. And that's not just, that's the same. Not just
that's right.
But that's the same in any walk of life, anything, whether it be politics, whether it be football, whether it be any sport, whether it be anything. Yeah. There's always somebody that's offended by something nowadays. But that's another show.
Anyway,
you might have to do that on Rumble rather than here. But let's move on. Let's go to the subs bench. Kenny, let's go. Kieran Tierney came on for 25 minutes, set up an offside goal. Well, not an offside goal, a goal that the ball went out of play. Shocked he didn't start. What did you make for him for 25 minutes?
Usual Kieran Tierney. Very good performance. Very pleased with him. You know, defensively, you know, there was a time when Southampton outnumbered us, but he made a good interception. You know, like I said, he made his tackles, try to get down that byline. There is no footballing reason why this guy shouldn't be in the team, especially over where, you know, one of the most annoying aspects of today was on the TV where they looked at Tomiyasu and he's playing at left back and he's saying Tomiyasu still deputising for the injured Shevchenko. I went, what? This Kieran Tierney is our best left back. If I was Kieran Tierney, I'd be very, very aggrieved. I won't use the word because obviously we're adults and we have to act professionally, but I'll be aggrieved, concerned. And I just put a tweet out and say, look, keep fighting, keep calm, because how can you be the best left back at this club and you're now third choice? It's beggars belief, beggars belief. And for that 25 minutes, he contributed more to the game than Tomiyasu did. So I'm going to give him a 6 because he did more than Tomiyasu.
Let's move to Eddie Nketiah, your favourite player, Jez.
Dear God, what does this guy actually bring to the party? The guy is absolutely fucking pony. Sorry to swear, but he is seriously. What can I say about it? He's rubbish. Simple. He's rubbish, and I'm sorry, man. He gets 4.
Last but by no means least, Fabio Vieira. The first thing he did when he came on, Kenny, was get bodied back to fucking Portugal.
Yeah.
Literally, I just muscled him off the ball and he went flying. Yeah.
He needs, obviously, first come to the country, obviously, what's going to happen is that, we need to put him in a program to actually, where obviously we don't just want the athleticism, we want the actual power as well, because there's a player there, just like Odegaard's beefed himself up and strong on the ball. You want this guy to be strong on the ball because, they've got similar qualities, play a bit different to the extent that, Fabio likes to take the ball off the, centre half and likes to make his attacks from deep, whilst Odegaard is better at the, front press. When we're in the defence, and he plays his best football when he's closer to Xhaka and to the attackers. But both different kind of players. But in terms of what he did today, a team like Southampton were at it physically. He's physically light, but he has to play because Odegaard, we're playing with 10 men with Odegaard's inside at the moment, especially in the last few moments. So he comes on, didn't make an impression. As you said, he got bodied from St Mary's all the way over to Waterloo train station. So yeah, I can only give him like a 4.
You know how this works, people. We don't care if you cry, because we come back every game. If you don't agree with the ratings that the lads have given, leave yours in the comments section. We don't care if you tell us we're toxic, negative. Oh my God, you're fake fans. Nobody cares. Real talk. Nobody cares. 150 years of watching Arsenal between us, and that weren't pretty today. We're going to do a 3-2-1, and then we're all going to rate the manager. 3, 2, 1, 6.
6. I'll go him 6. I'll go him 6 because what's happening, right? Is that he's clearly making decisions. He's making gambles. I don't like his non-selection of Kieran Tierney because I don't understand it. I can only surmise that he wants Kieran Tierney to get into the the midfield when Granit Xhaka's going forward, and that's probably what it is. Zinchenko tends to be able to do that, but you can only play like that if, and I say a big if, you're dominating possession and you're at the front foot. But even so, you can still play like that with Kieran Tierney in the side, because he's not just a good defender and a good crosser ball. He's a very good, technically good footballer. Technically, his left foot, he's a good player. So he can pass the ball. He can pick out a pass as well as a long diagonal ball and a long cross. So it doesn't make any sense that Zinchenko is giving us anything different attacking wise or passing wise than Kieran can. So I am frustrated with Arteta, and that's why he gets demerit marks or gets marked down.
100%, mate. Listen, big up to everybody who's watched this. Make sure you subscribe to JEZ'S channel. Links in the description, Arsenal history and more. Kenny Ken 1972 as well. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. I'll be back tomorrow with Dan Potts on Dan Potts' channel.
And all 3 of us.
Oh, yes. Oh, my days. How could I forget? I actually woke up today thinking it was Monday. Yeah, I can't lie. Yesterday was a madness. Yeah, I didn't even know what day it was. I went to bed at 8 a.m. this morning. I don't know how I'm still talking, breathing, and living. I woke up on Saturday thinking it was Sunday, and I woke up on Sunday thinking it was Monday. But we're back tomorrow doing the podcast, 5 p.m. UK time. Straight after that, I'm on with Dan Potts. I think I'm on with Goonie tomorrow. I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure I'm on with Goonie. So yeah, you got a lot of me tomorrow. And then Tuesday, Terence Flewers, that fucking troll, and then Ransom Bants. What you got coming up, Jez?
I'm doing History 1 at 7:30 tomorrow night, part 2 of Arsenal in the 30s. It's a very interesting one. I know the history shows don't get a lot of views, but I still love doing them. I do. I get the regular crew watching them and in the comments and everything. And it is what it is. That's what I'm about. Love the history of Arsenal. I like putting it out there. I think currently I'm the only person that does. So It is what it is. And maybe I'll get you guys on Wednesday night. Haven't had you guys on for a few weeks. If we can, we can. If we can't, we can't. But we'll have a chat about that. And yeah, that's it. And then this week I'm going to put a lot of content out there because I haven't done a lot for other reasons. Been busy doing stuff, and we'll see how it goes.
Kenny, what have you got coming up, mate?
Well, you know what I normally do? If I'm not on a podcast with you on Monday, which I'm looking forward to, and obviously I'm doing stuff with Jez, I am busy, but I'm busy causing all sorts of like getting people to think. I don't know if I'm getting you to think or not, but you know, my Instagram stories, anything that's in the news, sports wise, I'm on it and I'm going to give my opinion. We can
your
talk
Instagram's quality, man. Go and follow Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
seriously.
no politics.
No politics,
Yeah,
but any cricket, any rugby, any Piers Morgan story, anything.
Oh, Piers Morgan. What a you know what? When you talk about pork chops, he's up there. I think who else is up there? Laura Woods is up there as a pork chop. Sorry, Laura Wood fans, but she's a pork chop, and she looks very unnatural on the ITV's coverage of the women's football, and very unnatural on ITV's coverage of the NFL. Just putting it out there. And also, if you want to talk about politics, Nadine Dorries, the woman who puts on a Scouse accent when she wants to, slum it with the rest of us, but lost her Scouse accent 50 years ago, she's another pork chop as well. So the pork chops of the year so far, apart from people criticise me on
Twitter.
Twitter.
Andrew Tate put Piers Morgan in a fucking spliff, rolled it, smoked it, and was toking it lovely. Piers Morgan didn't know what day it was.
Have you seen the leader of the RMT? He does it to Piers Morgan 24/7, and all the rest of them.
It's so easy to finish him, but listen, that's another show. We'll be back again tomorrow, guys. Big up to everybody who's watched. Make sure you don't cry because we don't care. Leave your comments in the comment section with your player ratings. Follow the lads. And yeah, man, we're out of here, people. Drop 2 points is what it is. Southampton, the bogey team under Arteta, but we are still top. Tottenham lost, so it don't matter if we drew. Yeah, it don't matter if we drew because Tottenham lost. That irrelevant team that you lot make relevant, they lost. So let's laugh at them instead of pretending Arsenal were great today. Adios, amigos. Arteta Freya. How to see him.